Welcome to this live stream for the new moon in Gemini. So even if you're watching this, let's say in September of 2022, it doesn't matter. This message is for you. I believe in the alignment that our higher self has for us to place us in exactly the right place at exactly the right time to be able to open the doors of your awareness. So we do these meditations live every new moon and every full moon, and have been for a couple years now. And so with these transmissions, what we do is we just tap into the cycle of the energy that is available. So we have this really powerful and really beautiful eclipse energy that we're working with now. So what we do is we utilize those frequencies, we utilize that openness, we utilize that momentum that's here for us in creating this transmission and creating this channel. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up space with a bit of prayer. And as we're waiting for a few people to come on, we're going to go ahead and I'll tell you a little bit about Monad and the Monad Academy. But if you want to just get straight to the meditation, no worries. I put a timestamp in the description below so you can just go ahead and click right over to it. All right, so Monad, right here, this lovely little dot. Monad is that the pure core of your soul, the absolute and pure core of your soul that exists as the frequency of source consciousness itself. That we are all the embodiment of source, and in its absolute core expression, it is the same exact frequency that lives inside of each and every physical living being. Beautiful. So, from that place, I decided to create a brand. So, Monad itself is an academy for earth angels, for light workers, for people who have that deep churning inside that they're here for something bigger, even if they don't know what it is. All of these transmissions and these courses will open you up to be able to become more aware, more clear, so that that picture may not look exactly like, I don't know what's going to happen for me in the next 5 years, but I know 100% that where I am is aligned with why I came to this planet in the first place. And when I say I'm talking about the consciousness that is Sitara, that has this experience in human form. And we're not going to get into the details and minutiae of that. We leave that for our metaphysical club meetings, which is the advanced level trainings in the Monad Society. So beautiful. Now that we've got a lovely little group here, what we're going to go ahead and do is start with the meditation. And just take a couple of nice big deep breaths. I truly want to start off with just a big giant dose of gratitude to you for taking the time to give to yourself in this way, for taking the time to rest easy, to be present with whatever it is that is arising for you, so that you can feel into the expansion of what this transmission is going to bring for you. So go ahead and take a couple of nice big deep breaths. Surrendering, surrendering, surrendering. Give yourself a nice comfortable place to sit, preferably with water and a journal sitting next to you. So if you need, go ahead and pause this video and go grab those things and just allow yourself to come right back. Settling, settling, settling. Again, taking a couple nice big deep breaths, finding that internal center within, arms and legs uncrossed, and breathe. breathe into the divine purpose that is your original intention. Beautiful. And just feel yourself slipping into the container of the field that we have created here. Allow yourself to feel that space of no space, no time. That even though we are in different places, you can feel yourself settling into the energy that's being created here in the collective field. Beautiful. So taking a couple of nice big deep breaths. Honoring that true light within. And as we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Go ahead and take a moment to say internally for yourself, what is your prayer? What is your intention for the energy that we are using here today? Anything specific that's coming up for you, anything that's alive in your field that you're currently growing through. Maybe it is for gentle acceleration. You can even set the intention to process more of what it is that's alive for you and coming through in your dream space. Give yourself the freedom and ease to love on you, to be with you. Iawa takai ha'ako po sata iawa, iawa yoa putuki, yatiki iawa oapua, isu yoa pukua ha'aka, soya tani I iawa oapuku hu'uku suya, sitiki ya oapua ha'aka ya itani iawa yakayawa. We are here to support you. We are here to show you the direct line to your path of alignment. It is important that you check in with your heart space at every single choice point. The more that you check in with your heart space, the more you will be inclined to naturally choose that which is in most alignment for you. Iawa satakia wa uapu uku uku kaya. Sotakia oapuku uasa aka wapu sukiani aka putuku. Ia sayatani ia wapuku haaka sa akatani ia. I wa uapu uku sayatani ia wa uapuku ua. We would like to remind you that this path of your pure alignment is already in existence for you right here and right now. There is not much more for you to do other than to consciously, which you can choose to do in this moment, choose to step into that path of alignment. What this means is that there will be certain things or behavior traits or choices that will fall out of your life, and if it is falling away, let it. Let it fall away. Do your best to release any and all attachments to what that looks like and what that is, or what sort of creation of future ideas you have been constructing in your imagination. The best way for you to step onto this path of your highest and greatest, or as we like to call it, your golden timeline, is to simply choose to do so and surrender to the divine will that is opening up for you to create so much ease and so much grace, you'll wonder what took you so long to choose this path before. Ia ia wa ua kaya wa ho'ukupu. Aya ha'akaya wa ho'ukupu. Aya wa ha'akapu ua sa aketeni awa pua ha'akua. Zui awa awapu ho'ukua ho'utini ia wa ha'akaya inia wa. Anything or memories or feelings that are coming up from past experiences, allow them to arise, nurture, come to peace with. These are circumstances and things that have not yet been resolved in your emotional field, either because when it took place, you skipped over feeling the feelings, or you numbed or distracted. Now we are speeding up the process of you being able to feel what you need to feel, see what you need to see, and remember what you need to remember in order to fully close those chapters and tie up those loose ends, as you would say. There is no going back. At this point, we are only looking to bring you forward. This will bring you into the unknown, for the path that you are about to embark in has not been anything like a life that you have lived. Yes, the people and characters that are in your inner circle will remain the same, although the circumstances and places, opportunities that are available to you to open up will continue to blossom in extraordinary ways. Allow yourself to simply surrender. As you feel the consciousness of the you that is your higher self coming in to help remove any obstacles, to help you move out of your own way where there may be resistance or denial or numb energy that is blocking you from feeling how you truly feel. Aiowa ua pu'ukua sia tu kapua. I kia wa ua pu tunihi ia wa saya haaka. Suto kua haya wa otonea wa. I kia wa ho'akaya sataki a ua pua. Ia wa haotunia wa hua saya haataniki a wa. Opua pua pua saya haakawa. Itini ya wa hoa pokua haatuni ya wa. Ia saya haakaya wa pukutu wa huutanea. Ia wa haakaya wa putuki ya wa ya. And allow the information of the guidance for your next steps to just simply come to you gently and easily. And I'm going to slow down the input of new information and new energy and give you an opportunity to really feel the sensations that are alive for you here and now. That are giving you the opportunity to embrace the beauty of love and miracles that is here for you now. Allowing yourself to simply soften and surrender. Feeling the healing of even some stuck energy, or some that may have felt so hard that it feels cemented into your energetic being. Know that your higher self is here with you right now. And when we say higher self, take a moment to release the egoic idea of what you as your higher self is. When I am working with energy and I'm working with people and I'm accessing my mediumship abilities or channeling guides for someone else, one of the biggest things that I have learned is that it is all me. In the same way that no matter what ascended master or what guide it is that you are calling on, it is all you. But it is not the you that holds the name, that is the egoic identity in the physical form. Rather, it is the space behind. It is the spaciousness in between. And so as we are acclimating to this field, as we are acclimating into this energy, I'm going to share a bit about what the journey has been for me in shifting my name from Samantha to Sitara. Sitara as a name that came to me as I had started channeling light language, recognizing that it was the name of my higher self and that my parents didn't get it so far off. And so, in the shift of going from Samantha to Sitara and recognizing that Samantha no longer resonated with me, it felt like a foreign name when people would call me that. Yet, Sitara was still so new that that didn't quite resonate yet either. And so, what I was able to do, or what I was experiencing, was a space in between the identity. It was a space in between the names that I didn't identify as either one. So who am I? That space in between is your access to infinite knowledge. It is the access to all information that is present in this universe. Not all of it will your human mind comprehend, and you will be able to expand the awareness of your heart's capabilities. Let's take a couple more nice big deep breaths. Yakua satakia uapu ukua haaka. Soya iateni iawa uapu ukua haaka yania. Ia kayani ia uapu usutani iawa haaka wa. Ia waia wa oapoa tani ia wapu uku si ikia haaka. Oa haaka tani ia haaka wa ua su upu ku uteia haaka wa. Ia waia tani ia ia wapu ua sia kaha. Let's go ahead and focus on your root chakra. You see your root chakra right there at the base of your spine. Go ahead and do a health check. What is the health of your root chakra? Are you noticing that there is some stagnant energy that's being released? A lot of fear, and especially survival fear, is what we hold in our root. And so this year has turned up a lot of that for many, many people. So you may even be feeling it from the collective or past lives when survival was uncertain. And so allow yourself to fully connect into that root chakra space and simply identify it as a color, any color that is serving to you. Some of us have been taught that the chakras are all certain colors. This is not a doctrine that I personally prescribe to, because I started learning about the chakras before I learned about their assigned colors, and I never saw them at those assigned colors. Colors hold information. Colors hold frequency themselves. And so depending on the energy of the emotions, or depending on the energy of the script that's in there, depending on so many factors, they can be so many different colors. So allowing yourself to open up to the freedom of letting yourself out of that box. Remembering that it is okay to change your mind when new information is presented, and it's also okay to not change your mind when new information is presented. It's all up to you. You get to choose how you navigate this life experience. So that root chakra, now that it is open and moving energy, there may still be some energy that's stagnant in there. That's okay. Go ahead and create a nice grounding cord from your root chakra all the way down to the center of Mama Gaia, the center of the earth. You can make it out of plasma. It can be a laser beam. It can be a redwood tree. It can be a waterfall. Whatever it is, let it be a relief. I recently have been playing with the visualization of a dragon being at the center of the earth that is feeding on the energy that I am letting go of. And it's a very playful interaction that helps to release even more energy. It helps to just smooth all of that out. So if that's a visualization that is playful to you, or brings a smile to your face and takes off the seriousness of grounding and trying to get it right and all of these things, you're getting it right, my sweet love. Your higher self knows a spiritual technology that goes far, 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 far beyond a grounding cord. A grounding cord is, can be, as I was taught, it's in psychic kindergarten. It's the beginning. Your higher self knows so much already. You already know so much more than a simple grounding cord already. So there's no getting it wrong. And if you're feeling stuck or stagnant or things are not moving, just simply ask for help. And just let go. Let go, let go, go. We're always in a constant process of letting go, shedding skin, renewal and regeneration. Once we outgrow that cycle, we let go, we shed skin. And so every single day, we are growing, we are learning, we are evolving. The quickening has happened. So some days may feel like a week. Some weeks may feel like 2 months. It is because of the accelerated rate that you are growing in the quantum field. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Let yourself feel, feel, feel. Surrender even more deeply. Surrender even more deeply. And let go. And again, just simply allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel soft. Allow yourself to feel vulnerable. Allow yourself a moment to take off all the armor that you in most cases don't even know you're wearing, because you've gotten so used to wearing the heaviness of the illusion of protection. This heaviness in and of itself is what is weighing you down. That your light body has no weight. lighter than a feather. And you can feel this even in your physical body. Beautiful. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Yaya koa haaka sukuteni ia waho opo. Aya waho apo ko ohua hoa kaya haatania akoa. And come back to your original intention. Oa haakaya waho uku supuku aya haatania wa. Ia wa ia haaki wa nia wa uapuku wa haatonia wa hoapoa. Soya haatania wa hoapuku wa ia tania wa haakaya. Kaya kua haakawa pua kua haatani kia wa uapua usuku wa haatania wa akaya. Ia wa akaya wa releasing pressure of speed of things happening, allowing the natural flow and rhythm of life to work with you. Yawa haakaya wa ho'ukupuku wa haakaya wa sayetani hiawa. Yawa yawa yo yawa yo yawa yo ya haayawa pukua. Nyawa pua niawa haakaya wa pua haakua. Soya totake wa wapua kua haakaya. Yowa akatani. Yowa akatani. Yowa akatani yawa huapuku ua haya saya haya huapuaya. And breathe and let these codes settle into your system. Feel what you feel, notice what you notice. No need to attach to any sort of story. Just let them come up and through. And just let them come up and through. And allow them to come up and through. Breathing in deeply as your heart resonates into new form. Feeling this space that you are in fully and completely. Surrendering in true, divine, compassionate love. Surrendering into the brilliance that is all yours. Remember that resistance is not something to be avoided. Resistance is created or built when you are stepping out of your comfort zone and building momentum. There is a difference, a strong difference between resistance and misalignment. And the more clear your head space is, the more sober you are and grounded in your body, the easier every single moment of this is to navigate. Every single moment. So breathing in deep, allowing all that is you to open and release even more. We didn't come here for a fluffy release. We came here for a full energetic reset. We're going to do this as gently as possible. So you might realize that you have already outgrown your original intention. And feel. let's go ahead and take a flashlight, and shine that light on foreign energy, energy that is not yours, as well as sabotaging energy. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually call in on Mother Mary. And for any of those that have resistance based on Christian upbringing or anything like that, that's okay. Feel into that. And also remind yourself that Mother Mary was an ascended being. She was a physical human here on earth whose legacy, yes, even through organized religion, has continued to live on, as well as her ability to be with us as an ascended being. And if you still are not interested, that's okay. Simply call in on the Divine Mother. However that shows up for you or to you, this is perfectly fine. And let that healing, let the Divine Mother hold you, nurture you, be with you, honor you in your intentions, and simply feel. Allow your quantum body to open up and just drop out everything that is a non-resonance to the path of your greatest alignment. And maybe there's a giant cosmic vacuum that's just rolling through your field or rolling through your space, picking up any impurities, blocked channels, clogged energies. Maybe you even need to make that cosmic vacuum about 5 feet in diameter so that it can really purify your field. And remember that nothing that is you can pull away from you, only everything that is not you. So no matter how attached you are to some of these energies that we are really letting go of and purifying and cleansing out, there you go. And the more you can surrender, the more you can soften, the better. And those of us that are working with Mary and the Divine Mother, go ahead and allow your heart to be open. And if it feels right to you, surrender to divine will. The divine will of your greatest awakening. The divine will of your original purpose of incarnation. Allowing any and all energy to simply be peeled away and pulled away for you. That there's nowhere to go, that there's nothing to do. That you are feeling the sensations of this healing in a very powerful and very beautiful way. And breathe. Know that the energy of the container is working for you. It has been said that the angels are not able to work with us unless we activate our conscious free will choice to connect with their guidance. And allow yourself to remember that you are an earth angel, meaning you have the codes and wisdom from the angelic realm. These are seventh dimensional energies and above. It's an extraordinarily close frequency to that of source consciousness itself. That the home coming into your angelic presence, activating the angel wings that are connected to your multidimensional body, that you are not just physical, you are a multidimensional being. We are the conduits between realms. Yo, 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 ayo ayo ho ayo ya hai o apu ayo o ayo o apu hai ya hai ya Yawa pua hiwa hayo ya nia hoa pua kua haka yawa hako pota take pota kata kutu 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 pota kara kara kuta kara 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 kuta kara kara kuru kuru kara kara kuru kara kara yawa ha kua pua yawa ha yawa hua pu kua hua pua ha tani hai yawa ha yawa pua. Allowing the energy of your field to shift into that of creativity, the energy of your house to be purified and blessed, that you are releasing as well as just cutting through any and all dark interferences in your life, in your career, in your heart space, in your creation space, in your family world. We're setting a clear prayer intention that any and all chaos energy, any and all sabotaging energy, any and all energy that is not aligned with your highest and greatest path, that of your golden timeline alignment, that be neutralized, softened, and released here in this present now moment. Uapuku ho sukaya neaka, sutakeya wapunia haakuapua yania, yawayakaya haakatinia. Suputukaya wa hawapu ua haakaya hiatani ikia haaka. Saya hatani ya wapu kua hoapua ya haatani ya wa wapua aikaya. Breathing down through that grounding cord from your root chakra all the way down into the center of Mama Gaia, and just simply focus on that dragon down there at the center of the earth. Maybe you're playing fetch with the dragon. Maybe you're just simply playing. Maybe you're jumping around. Maybe you're releasing. But go ahead and bring some joy into the visualizations that you're experiencing in this here and now moment. And breathe. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Breathe into that illumination. Breathe into that grace. Breathe into the support that is all around you. that is purifying the energy not only of your heart, but of all pathways of influence where you are walking throughout the day, the people who you are talking to throughout the day, the people that you are honoring within yourself throughout the day, connecting in even more deeply to all those that love you, all those that nourish you, and letting go of patterns of attachment to the agreements and experiences, pathways that don't fully align with your divine activation. There will be people in your world and in your life that spiral through this experience with you, meaning that they are on their own growth path and will continue to grow and evolve with you. And there will simply be people and arrangements that on a vibrational level you just create a non-resonance with. Meaning that there is no longer an agreement to sort through the details of this human existence with and or for. And breathe. Feel what you feel, notice what you notice. And breathe. And breathe. Allow that space in your world to be nurtured, to be loved, to be accelerated and appreciated, to be honored in your own divine worthiness, to be honored in your own divine grace, to be purified in your own divine love. And breathe. And breathe. You are held. You are loved. You are nurtured. You are being activated through association and connection. Yakawa haakaya hotakai 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 wa yakaya wa pukua hayatania yawa haoka yoa haaka sotaya hani iya wa puku suku tuku ya pua. Breathing in deeply. And allowing all that is you to continue opening up. Continue breathing. Continue surrendering. Activating the pure, absolutely pure and divine connection from your angel wings to your internal resonance, that there is nothing, no energy getting in the way, interfering or intruding in the most pure and divinely aligned connection to those wings as you stretch them all the way out and you stretch them all the way up. And you just breathe through, you just pierce through any interfering energies Any images or visions or things that you see, you are not imagining them. This is how energy works. So you just cut through them like a warm knife through butter, just melts away. They have absolutely nothing on your pure divine resonance. When you own your pure divine resonance and fully connect this into your internal source and internal space of innocence, you breathe, surrender, acknowledge, love, accept, and appreciate. That space that is within you. That space that is not outside of you. That space that is resonating deeply and fully to your soul resonance, to your soul frequency. All else is melted, just simply melted. Gently, easily, no struggle, no threats, no bullying. We don't need to intimidate the energy that's leaving. It can just simply fall away, melt away, because you are growing out of the resonance of what it once was, of who you once were, and the energy that you were once carrying in your field. And we just simply soften and keep melting. Breathe in, powerfully so. Breathe out, letting go. Just as you soften, I'm going to stop talking for a few moments, but I'm still here. Take a few moments to be with yourself and let the insights just roll through. The messages come to you with ease. There is something so incredible coming into your world and into your life. The intention of this transmission, this meditation, is to align you to that with effortless ease and grace so that you are in a space, a mindset, a heart set, and open in your intuition to be able to receive the best of the greatest blessing that is for you. And breathe. This is why we let go. This is why we let go of resistance. This is why we let go of foreign energy. This is why we surrender to the divine will that is activated in our field when we choose to do so. Knowing that there are opportunities and life experiences in this world that you have not even the capacity to be able to see right now, because you are only going based off the information of what it is that you know, or what you have seen. When you open your heart and your space to the divine will that is open and available for you and to you, it will accelerate your alignment to your purpose and bring you on to that highest available timeline. I am choosing the highest available timeline in all ways, always. I am choosing the highest available timeline in all ways, always. I am choosing the highest available timeline in all ways, in all ways. By the activation of my own divine free will, I choose to align with the divine will intended for me before the moment of conception, before taking this human body. I recognize that I have volunteered to be here in this world at this time, and it is part of my divine purpose and alignment to bring light into any and all circumstances where I am magnetized or attracted to, as each one of these points of attraction and magnetism is an activation of the divine consciousness within, that it feels familiar as my higher self has activation and connection to the circumstances in my life that have already happened. So in that true alignment of divine form and connection to free will, I acknowledge the grace that is in this field. I acknowledge the grace that is in this heart. I acknowledge the grace that purifies the field and dissolves all obstacles. These obstacles are created from the lower constructs of the subconscious mind, and as I choose my highest timeline available, I acknowledge that I am transcending these experiences and integrating the growth, as I am not skipping or bypassing any lessons that are here and available to me to help me grow in a grounded, founded, and substantial way. I am simply learning the tools and abilities to accelerate this experience, to be able to have a wider, more potent and powerful influence on the light grid of this planet, whether that means being visible or by being invisible. I allow all key codes of my inner being to activate now to the highest and fullest potential of my right now capabilities, recognizing that as I say this prayer at a future time, more of these key code potentials will be activated as my higher self is gentle with my physical body as I take each and every step forward into the path of my highest and greatest timeline. I surrender to the path of ease, free of suffering, and eliminate any and all parasitic energy from my field, including that of entities, multidimensional entities that are hosting on my body or feeding off of my energy channels. I acknowledge their presence in my field now and ask for the support of the Divine Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene to end these contracted agreements and eliminate the attraction point where they have plugged into my field, and acknowledge in full loving grace that each and every one of these parasitic entities, or sabotaging entities, or protective entities, are offered the opportunity to transcend into the light by the use of their own free will, that they have the choice. And it is not my responsibility to choose for them, rather to simply connect them into the Divine Mother. Offer a prayer of gratitude for the support and the purification of my field, so that I may think clearly, act clearly, and magnetize from a place of pure, clarified intention. May all beings be free and nurtured in this life experience towards the ascension of the human consciousness. And we are here. We are in the awakening. We are living and breathing through it. As your cheerleader, as your support, as your guide, and as your multidimensional mentor, I am so brilliantly proud of you. I know what it takes to be in this space. I know what it takes to be on these calls. I know what it takes to even just listen to these words. In this space alone, you are a vibrational rebel. In this space alone, you are seeing the potential of your being. And in most cases, this is terrifying to the vast majority of the human population. Most will never acknowledge the work that you are doing, for they cannot see it within themselves. And this is why it is so important when we see ourselves that we cheerlead ourselves on. We cheerlead the people on that are on this journey with us. And for those that we see out in the world doing the work of light in their own way, in their own path, their own little sliver of the universe, please, my sweet brothers and sisters, I ask you to pause and say a prayer for their acceleration of influence as well. We are very strong together. We are very influential together. So when we link arms metaphysically and in connection, we transcend competition or jealousy or envy, and we acknowledge the courage that it takes to be on this path. We acknowledge the strength that it takes to be on this path. We send powerful, powerful love notes to all those who are connected to us and through us and with us and beyond us. So with that, my sweet love, I love you, love you, love you dearly. This is the end of our transmission space, although I'm not going to hop off of the call right away, as I want to very gently bring our awareness from the higher realms. We can have a few moments to be there and acclimate. There's no rush, as you have plenty of time. Take your time. Feel yourself. Acknowledging yourself. Breathing into yourself. Honoring yourself. Breathe gently, breathe easily. Yo-aya, 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 yo-aya. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, 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 ya. Breathing in the magic. So much magic. My love, you are an absolute treasure in this world. And I promise to do everything I can to help you see that, to feel that, to walk into that, to embody that. In the same way that I encourage myself every single day. I absolutely love you. I absolutely adore you. Even in the places where you have not yet been able to love yourself fully, I see you and you are lovable. Each and every single part of you is acceptable. Each and every single part of you is created in the mirror image of the divine source itself. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome home into the center heart of your own being, the center heart of your own body. Go ahead and take a few moments to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. We've just been on quite an adventure, that's for sure. I want to invite you to take a few moments to journal, if you have that journal there next to you. And if you feel inspired or you feel called to share in the comments either what that experience was like for you or if you have any questions, I'd love to continue to stay in this space because as we are in this container, it's continuing to work for us as you reacclimate back to your human experience. Especially if you are new to this, drink water, put your hands on the earth. Go find a piece of earth that you can ground into. Do some light stretching. Move slowly out of this space and into the full connection into your physical body. And remember that the work that we have done here, everything that you have let go, it is done, it is done, it is done. We're only moving forward. Oh, Iggy, you are so, so, so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're joining in, receiving the love, receiving the sparkles. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tune into the cosmic field. As we do this, one of the really fun things, and just as I say that, I'm getting ringing in my ears. So one of the really fun things about this is that when we're working in no time, no space, I can actually connect to the people who will be watching this in the future. So I'm getting some feedback, some questions that are coming in. So I'm actually just going to tune into that right now. This is fun. This is the first time I've ever done this. So join me on this new adventure. Okay, I'm getting questions about the different time and dimension, space, and realms. When I say the angelic realm, it's really funny because even when I said that, I felt this question come up. Lori, you're so very welcome. A lot of it, I want to be careful with my words on this, but a lot of it is splitting words with vocabulary. What I'm more concerned, not concerned, but more of what I want to encourage you to feel into is the sensations of the energetic resonance of where it is that you are. So I believe from my own personal experiences, firsthand experiences, that when we start activating the memories of where our soul has been, it's very similar to, like, let's say that you've gone on vacation to a place that you went to once, but you remembered the restaurant because you remembered that they had the absolute best smoothie bowl or eggs Benedict, whatever you eat, that you've ever thought about. And so when you go back to that place, you remember. And you may not remember the exact streets that it was on, but you remembered that you were there so that when you go back into that place, it feels familiar because you have very beautiful and positive memories and experiences of that place. When I personally, cosmically adventure, I feel the sensations are the same. So that's what I mean by focus on the sensations and focus on the resonance and focus on the feelings. That there are certain places that you will go to in these meditations when you go into the womb of the Divine Mother or when you go into the fifth dimension. Some of these things, it's like, it gets kind of funny in the New Age community and channeling communities where we're like, so many people are trying to be very certain about the words that they are using. And that's where our mental human mind can get into conflict and splitting hairs and trying to like decipher and differentiate. And the truth is that metaphysics and quantum physics is being able to prove these concepts with science and technology. Our technology is advancing in a way that allows for these things and experiences to be proven now through technology. So there's this beautiful like marriage or bridge that's being built between what psychics and mystics and channelers have been saying for hundreds of years, possibly even thousands of years. I mean, these skills and abilities, these skills that Jesus had and the Holy Family had, they were not only to them. Like, these skills and these abilities have been experienced in all different cultures around the world for eons. And so we can go back into Atlantis, or we can go back into Lemuria. And this is, again, where we start going into these territories where it's like, it can be shared through memories of past life experiences, absolutely. And one of the things that I get a little bit, just this is my own personal thing, that I get a little bit hesitant on teaching with absolute surety, because I actually have a very analytical mind. Believe it or not, I was born a psychic with a high propensity for analyzing and proving concepts. So when I was budding psychic on the beginning of my journey, I made my guides prove everything to me over and over and over again before I would be able to confidently talk about what I was experiencing. Because it can be a little like mystical, and it can be a little bit out there, and it can be a little like, whoa. And so I choose not to teach from a place of take it from my personal experience. And this is why I prefer to do transmissions and lead people through an experience so that they can have their own experience, so that you can go into these realms and activate these memories for yourself. Now, me telling a personal story of the experiences that I have might also activate these memories for you, meaning that if I speak of something, you'll go, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's similar to if you hear someone telling a story about like maybe the time ketchup squirted out of a bottle. And they're like, oh yeah, I have this story about ketchup squirting out of a bottle that I haven't thought about for 5 years. It all of a sudden just came up. This is what I'm talking about by activating soul memories. That when we activate these soul memories, that was an ant that just walked through the camera. But when we activate these soul memories, parts of our DNA become activated. Do you guys remember learning about junk DNA? When I was in high school, I remember being in a biology class. I remember my teacher. I remember all of these really funny things. But I remember learning that 96% of the DNA was considered junk DNA, that's what they taught us. It was junk DNA. No, that was even a glossary term. Are you kidding me? No. Our DNA holds so much expansion, so much wisdom, so much conscious awareness that I genuinely believe that when we activate these soul memories and when we start traversing the cosmic realms consciously with our human mind, it does two things. That we activate these dormant parts of our DNA to our conscious mind, and the remembrance itself activates the DNA. So it's this cycle of activating DNA and coming to memories, and then advancing and activating DNA, coming to memories and advancing, because time itself does not only exist in the linear third dimensional form that we are experiencing. So that's what I mean, that when I'm sitting here and leading this, like we have X amount of people on live with us who've been through this experience. And what I can see and feel in my resonance is I can feel the amount of people that will be tuning in at future dates, on future timelines. I can feel the questions that come in. I can feel the insights, the things that want to be answered, or even the things that will just help click, click, click. Some of the things that like were activated here, but the dots weren't really connected. And so that's where in this space, after a significant transmission in that way, right? We're working with the multidimensional body. This is our soul. This is the part of us that is much bigger than our human field. Like our human body, we then have an auric field. But your higher self, holy bejesus. I've been seeing visions, and I've been going on quantum field trips with Hathor, and I've been traveling to other galaxies with her in my own meditation space. And she's been showing me. Like she's taking my Sitara or Samantha consciousness, sitting with me in the cosmos and being like, that's you. Do you remember? Are you remembering? That's you. That's who you be. That's who you are. That is the divine being that lives inside of you. Are you remembering? And my human brain is like, what? We are so much bigger than we think. And size is a funny thing to say. It's funny to say this in size. Like, we're so much bigger than we think. Like, it's a word that doesn't really encompass what the experience truly is. It's so profound. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. It's so magnetizing. It's so magnifying. It is so incredible what we are able to do when we nurture our egoic human mind that needs to know it all or be right, and we put those parts of ourselves to rest, and we explore our internal world with such a state of curiosity. But the key here is that we have to move through the emotions first. And most people don't want to move through the emotions. They don't want to feel the stored pain that is stuck in their body. They don't want to activate the memories that have been repressed from horrific childhood experiences. And trust me, I have been through my own. And I consider these experiences the accelerated learning path. The first time I went to speak to a counselor, I was 6 years old. It was actually like mandated by my school based on some things that had happened. And so I had to be pulled out of class. I had to go speak to a counselor. And I had so much shame, like even into my 30s. Like, as of the last year or so, was still carrying shame around this experience that, you know, there was something going on in my home life that wasn't normal. That I didn't know it wasn't normal because that was what I knew. And so I'd have to be pulled out of class away from the rest of the kids, and I would go and speak to a counselor. And now what I see from the lens that I'm wearing now, it's like this was the accelerated learning path. I learned language. I learned how to communicate with adults very young. Like, I started training with these counselors of learning how to speak to what I wanted and like openly communicate in other ways of saying, this is what I want, rather than acting out because my emotional needs were not being met. And I'm going to take this a step further because this has been alive for me in my world here, is that I live in a very spiritually activated, consciously based community. There are so many personality disorders in this community. And I mean that with full love. Full love. I have worked through and grown through some of my own, but I really believe that personality disorders are learned behaviors. We're talking borderline personality, narcissism. Bipolar is more a chemical imbalance, but I also believe that chemical imbalance, it happens when environments are unsettling and unstable. So these are just a few, like to name a few. Over-exaggerated egos, arrogance, especially really hard egos that don't want to that what they know is right and that's the only way. And I'm doing this because it feels like that. Like, have you ever talked to somebody that has a really strong convicted ego and it just feels like you're just pumping up against a brick wall? Like, I generally just give up in having conversations. I'm like, I'm just not going to spend my energy here. But these experiences, these traits are created from a traumatic experience that happens genuinely in early childhood, that those emotional needs are then not met. They are not greeted. They are not nurtured by a mother or a father for that matter. So the individual then has to learn to self-soothe and take care of themselves in such a way that it creates this hardened shell around that trauma, because at that age, let's say something happens when they're 7 years old, at that age, they do not have the emotional capacity of an adult that has had enough life experience to be able to understand how to nurture and dissolve those in real time, in living time. And so what happens is that nut gets carried until the person reaches an emotional capacity and a choice by the definition of their own free will, that they are then able to knock on that door and say, I'm ready for you to come out now. I'm ready, 7-year-old self, for you to come out now. I'm ready to hold you. I'm ready to nurture you. And this is where inner child healing comes into play. And these are how personality disorders are created. So there's stuff going on, I've heard a lot of things being said about narcissism, and I do have a degree in psychology, so I studied these abnormal psychological patterns early. Before I decided to become a psychic, I was on the path of becoming a psychologist and a counselor because I wanted to help people. The divine will had other plans for me. And I feel that this is way cooler. So when I was doing the training of that, one of the things that we were taught is that narcissists, and it's almost that personality trait itself has been so deeply ingrained in the creation of the human development, that to unravel it is extremely hard, because a narcissist often, especially in an extreme version, they will not acknowledge that they are a narcissist. They will not acknowledge that the behavior that they are acting out is harmful to other people, or that it matters that they're creating or causing harm. And part of that is because that is the way that they were treated. At some point in their lives, that was the way that they were treated. Deeply, deeply, deeply wounded. And then extreme apathy from the person who created the wounding. So we act out the way we've been taught. We act out the way we have been treated. And so this is the case. And I don't want to say like have extensive apathy for these people, because if there is any abuse being acted in your world, and I feel that this is coming up because the empath narcissist connection and dynamic is really, 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 really common. Empaths want to nurture and give and give and give, and narcissists genuinely want to take and take and take. But the empath can feel that on some level this person is deeply wounded, whether they're conscious to it or not, so they want to give until they basically reenact harmful experiences for themselves. And this is something that I have personally played out many times, until we are able to go within and see where that magnet is calling these experiences in. I do believe that all experiences that we magnetize to us are for us. Sometimes they're there to hold us, to nurture us. Sometimes they're there to trigger us. Sometimes they're there to activate our deepest and darkest and ugliest wounds. And this is where some of those behavior patterns and things that we've said to people that we don't necessarily always want to have come out, it will come out. And we sit with it and we love ourselves through it, because another layer just got activated. But I want to say that I don't believe in the narcissist column. I don't believe that all narcissists are meant to, or that they're not able to resolve the inner woundings. It just means that they have a much more hardened egoic structure to get through. And that is what takes more time, more resilience, more courage, more effort. It's how it is. It isn't until we really learn to soften our egoic structure and we learn how our ego works inside of our body, that our ego is not something to throw out, that it's like, ooh, the terrible ego. But the ego holds our insecurities as well as it holds our confidence. But the egoic structure itself is designed to protect us at all costs. And so when someone has a very hardened ego structure, the ego is doing its job to protect that inner wounding from being re-exposed. It's doing its job. And that's why we have to use our heart, or what I have found to be the fastest and easiest method, is to use our heart to communicate to that ego structure. Use our heart to communicate to that spot, those parts inside of our brain, our head, our mind that are resistant to opening those doors. And it works very well. I'll say that. It works very well when you can approach it with the gentle kindness and nurturing of the Divine Mother, to give those wounded parts of yourself the respect and the full attention, no matter how long it takes, that it needs in order to feel resolved. And what you'll feel is a sensation of integration. You'll feel the sensation of that part that has been a little bit separate from you really coming in and really just anchoring in, breathing it in right here. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. It's so clear. It's so beautiful. Ah, it's so good. So, so, so good. Does anyone have any other questions coming up? I'm feeling that everyone's really in their bodies. Just feeling the space a little bit more. Beautiful. All right. Well, my sweet friends, please, please, please watch my other videos. It is so much more helpful than you know to subscribe and to like the videos, even if you just go through the channel and like the videos. I know it might change your YouTube algorithm a little bit, but it really, really helps to start picking things up on the YouTube algorithm itself. My goal is to get into a place where this channel is monetized so that I can continue to offer these free to the public and to be able to create a stream of income for myself that is supported by the platform. I really, really want to get this information out to as many hands, hearts, heads as possible, as I believe that is my own divine birthright. And so any and all support by financial donations is extremely and graciously appreciated. Every little bit helps, as well as liking, sharing, commenting, talking about these experiences with your friends, word of mouth. All of it is so, so, so supportive to me and the work that we are doing here with Monad and the Monad Society. So thank you in advance for your generous contributions. Thank you in advance for your kind words. Thank you in advance. And thank you now for taking the time to do this work with and for you, as that absolutely is the most important part of this and the reason that I continue to choose to show up. I just absolutely love this so much. Really hard pressed to find things that I like doing more than sitting and sharing in this space with you. In this way, of course. All right, my sweet loves, we'll be prepared to see more lives. I do want to start the weekly Transformational Tuesdays, getting that back up and running. And then when you feel that you're ready to join us in the advanced training with the Monad Society and the Metaphysical Club, please do let me know. I'll put all of the links in the description below. The descriptions are already in the other videos, but I'll make sure that I get that one into this one as soon as possible. And with that, my sweet love, like I said, I absolutely adore you. Let's go ahead and close out with a prayer. Taking a couple nice big deep breaths. Feeling into the light that is illuminating into your own heart. Feeling into the surrendered wisdom of your own grace. Giving you the love, the attention, the nurturing that is so purified and fulfilling for you in this moment. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much complete. All right, my dears, I love you, and I will absolutely be seeing you soon. Make sure you get connected to the notifications or the bell on this, because I'm also getting insights now to do more live readings. Doing live readings as I used to do, haven't done them in a while, but to do more live readings as we had in the past, I do feel that that is going to be coming in. So make sure that you get the notifications on that, or you can go to monadsociety.com and join our mailing list so that I will send out notifications that way as well. All right, my dear. Ciao, ciao.